Today we're going to be going over how Leon Thomas produces his own music and then making a beat of our own, from his instrumentation to the theory. And don't worry if that T word really scares you. I'm going to make it so simple to the point where you're going to even question the reason why you're even intimidated by it in the first place. Now, I've been playing multiple live instruments for almost a quarter of my life, but me knowing how to play 3 live instruments might be impressive to some people. Leon Thomas knows how to play 5, and that's quite literally all that he uses in his beats. It's just live instruments, from live guitar, bass, strings, real drums. But what you'll hear more often than not as the main instrument is a piano, either an upright piano, E piano, regular grand piano, it doesn't matter, just a piano. But for our beat, we're going to be using an upright piano. But in order to understand what is going to be played, welcome to my favorite part of the video, music theory for dummies, aka producers. This is where I'm gonna simplify the living crap out of music theory to the point where you're even gonna question why you're scared to go forward with it in the first place. First things first, this is the foundations of everything, okay? You gotta learn the number system. And what is the number system, you say, Nate? Well, I'm really glad you asked. Thank you for participating in my class today. So let's say we are in a key of B flat minor or A sharp minor. The highlighted notes are the scale. So this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's essentially the number system. You're just numbering each note that is in the scale. But if you want to play a chord, what we want to do is just our bass note of whatever key that we want to play, and then just skip one note of the scale and play the other one. Makes sense, right? See, I'm just skipping this one and this one, and I'm only playing the 1, the 3, and the 5. And then you can basically just continue this over and over and over and over. And that's how you get like extended chords, quote unquote extended chords, and like complex chords, when really it's not really that complex. You're just really adding on it to the thing. B flat minor 7, and the reason why it's a 7 because it's 7 keys away, it's 9 keys away, it's 11 keys away, and this is basically all you need. So if you want to start from the 3, 13, see that? Everything else is just like adding to your bag. So let's say like in basketball, it's like adding a spin move to your bag. So if you want to do like a 1-3 chord progression, which we are going to do for this beat, it's going to sound like this. Simple, but a bit too simple for me. So what do I want to add? I want to add something in between those chords. So why not we just add a 2 in between? Huh. Wow. Wait, hold on. But Nate, what? That 2. This key right here is out of key. So how can you play it? I mean, I don't know. Does it sound good? Yes? Okay, then it's good. This is the one rule and only rule of music theory. If it sounds good, it works. So let's play that 1-3. But then going back to it, instead of just playing the 2, I want to play the 4 as well. Yeah. You guys see what I'm getting at here? And boom, it's that simple. And without realizing it, we've added something to our bag, like a new spin move, but it's called passing chords. Essentially chords that are in between the chords that are originally there, so they can pass through more fluidly, I guess you could say. I don't know. It just sounds better. Essentially, it just sounds better. And that's the one and only rule of music theory. If it sounds good, it's green. Yeah, I like that. If it sounds good, it's green. Okay, but we're not done. Okay, right here, I want to add something that's very common in R&B, and it's probably going to be one of your go-to moves. All right, and it's called the 2-5-1. Now, what is the 2-5-1, you ask? Thank you for asking. Thank you for participating in my class. Well, there's many different ways to use the 2-5-1, but in this instance, just like how we use the 2 and the 4 to get to the 3, 2-5-1, we're using the 2 and the 5 to get to the 1. And the 1 can be anything. It doesn't have to be the one in the scale. The one can be just whatever note you want to resolve in, and the 2 and the 5 is going to be relative to that note. It just so happens in our example, our 1 is the actual 1 in the scale. So it's going to sound like this, okay? 4, 3, 2, 5. But right here, I want this right here. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like 2, 5, 1. And that's our chord progression right there. We're done. It's that simple. Essentially, all we're doing is just having a simple chord progression with just the 1, 3, and then adding passing chords in between, so it sounds more complex than what it actually is. And this is what we get right here. But even though the piano is one of the most important part of our production, it's not going to be our main driving instrument. It's going to be the bass. So first, let's actually add a simple drum break to it so we get a simple groove, and then let's just lay down all of the bass root notes that we've been playing. But instead of the root notes of each chord, we're going to add the 7 on top of that, except for the last 2. And this is what it sounds like. And now, since we do have the bass guitar laid down, now there's something phenomenal that we can do with the piano. And when I figured this out, it's literally changed the way I saw music. Chords aren't different from each other. It's just where you start is what makes up what it is. Let me explain. Like, for example, okay, this is probably gonna blow your mind. Maybe. I don't know. It blew my mind when I heard it. Pause. Anyway, the only difference between a 3 and a 1 is the 1. You see that? And the only difference between a 1, 3, and a 5, they all share the same exact notes. Same with the 2 and the 4, and the 4 and the 6. They share everything. It's all the same thing. It's just where you start is what matters. It's the bass note is what makes a chord what it is. And so since we do have the bass line added without any keys, essentially we can play anything. And it's gonna sound good regardless because our bass note is already rooted. And now with everything done, the bass, the piano, and the drums, and that's pretty much all that we need, this is what it sounds like. I want you to talk yourself out of it. Again, it's simple for a reason. We're leaving room for Leon's vocals and all his vocal harmonics and everything that he does with his voice. Always going back and forth, don't like your lazy. But Leon Thomas isn't the only male R&B artist that has killer production. Matter of fact, there's one artist whose production is so good that one might say it is pure genius. And if you want to know more about that one artist, click on this video right here.